I think it was average at best. Obviously, not quite the year that I think that a lot of our fans are used to here in women's basketball at OLLU. But I think considering the circumstances, kind of coming in, you kind of inherit a program and just kind of the timing of when I was hired, I think we managed to kind of get through the season. We had some injuries, we had some issues, that we weren't able to. We were literally ending the year with about 8 players, type deal. So, but that's sports. You just have to deal with it. And I feel like we did the best we could down the stretch. So but also, definitely looking forward to the new season. Well, I think it's hard to project. I think it's still early. We're a month into practices. So, but obviously, our expectations are high. We want to win championships. I think that's the standard that's been set here. We want to win championships. We want to make national tournament trips. So those are our goals. Again, how we go about doing that, I think still right now we're trying to figure some of those things out. We're still trying to figure out, who's our go-to player right now. I like our depth this year, which I felt like we really didn't have last year nearly as much. We were kind of top-heavy last year, but once people started getting hurt, I think that changed the dynamic. But hopefully we won't have that, that situation this year, because I do think we feel like we have a little bit more depth. We can play a lot more players. So I think that's going to be exciting headed into this year. Well, clearly experience. She's been coaching for a few years now. She has good experience from high school level, college level. So she brings that knowledge with her. I think the other thing with Candace that I've been really impressed with is just her rapport with our players. They really take well to her. She really knows how to communicate well with them. And as a head coach, that's one of the things when you look for an assistant, you want to be able to find somebody that's going to be able to reach out and make a meaningful impact with your players. And so far, Candace has done a really good job of that. We have 3 Division I opponents on our schedule. We start out the gate 2 games in a row. We go to Sam Houston State. And then we come back here to San Antonio and head across town and play UIW. So I think those are going to be really good games for us. And then later on at the end of December, we'll be playing at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I think those games are always good for programs like us. I think it's good for our players to be able to experience playing against the Division I opponent, being able to play against that talent level. Being able to make those trips and see those arenas and kind of how the other half lives a little bit. I think those will be good stories for them, when they're sitting around, later on in life talking to kids and grandkids and stuff. So that they got a chance to experience that. So I think that's going to be good. And then of course we come back home opening up with our Halo Classic. Again, unfortunately for us, we're only going to be able to have 1 classic here this year. We had 3 last year, but of course, adding a new conference opponent that lessens some of our out-of-conference games. But we're excited about that, to be hosting that. We have 2 teams coming in from out of state, with Trinity Christian College coming in out of Illinois, and William Carey University coming out of Mississippi. And we'll have Texas Wesleyan will be coming in, but we'll play Trinity Christian and we'll play William Carey. I think those are going to be 2 good teams for us to be able to play 2 opponents kind of outside our region. Hopefully that will benefit us, going into going to a national tournament and being able to have experience already kind of playing teams from other areas of the country. Because I think we understand in basketball especially, there's different styles of play in different areas of the country. So hopefully that's going to be a benefit for us playing those 2 teams. The conference, I think it'll be good again this year. Some surprises last year, although maybe not as much of a surprise for me because I saw their roster with Texas A&M, Texarkana winning the league and going undefeated. But again, it's going to be a good year this year, a competitive year this year. I still think they're going to be a team that that will be up at the top. Obviously, they have a new coach. But LSU Shreveport is always going to field a really good team, so I think they're still going to be good. They have a lot of returners from last year that played for them. Of course, Xavier's always been a really good program. So I think those three teams, I think they're still going to be good be good this year. We definitely know we have our work cut out for us. When you're trying to get that championship, we're going to have to go through some pretty good teams, but that's a challenge that we talk about daily. And we're working on that and working on finding ways that we can get back to the top. Of course, with our returners, obviously, out of your returners, you bring experience, and not only some of those young ladies experience, playing at this level, but they now have a year of experience playing for me. Which I think is probably more important. Even though we had returners last year, they were returners who didn't have experience playing for me. So I definitely think that's going to be more beneficial for us. They understand, kind of what I expect daily, and their approach has been such. I mean, it's, well, no, that's not how we're going to do things. And so when they're speaking to our newcomers and in practice and drills, it's a lot easier this year because I can say a drill now and they're going to hop to it because they know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think those things with our returners has been really good. I think our energy has been really good for them. So I'm excited about that, to actually be able to have some players, who have played for me for a year and understand what those expectations are when they come in every day in practice. Yeah, so with our newcomers and of course what I want to do offensively, defensively, when we set out recruiting last year, we wanted to make sure we were able to bring in players that were a little bit more versatile, players who could play multiple positions. That's going to be needed for the type of offense and the style that I want to play. And sometimes I felt last year, obviously no fault of those players, but that we really didn't have that. We had some players who kind of could only play one position or do one thing, and so that limited me, I think, as a coach with some of the stuff that I was able to do. But hopefully having some of the newcomers coming in, they've been recruited to fit the style that I want to play. So I'm excited about that, excited to get them going and see how we play out things the rest of the season. Very important. Obviously, I was a student athlete, so I understand what that's like. You have to go to class, you have to play basketball. It's not always easy, but the expectations are we want to be excellent at both. You're not just here to be a basketball player. You're a student athlete first. So we have those conversations about making sure that, academics is going to be important. You're going to go to class, all right? We expect you to maintain a certain GPA. So those are things that hopefully we can continue with this group because again, those are just the expectations of our program. Again, I think it'll be a fun group, a versatile group, a good mix. We have a lot of freshmen, so right now, it's been thrown at them, but they're talented kids, which I'm excited for. So I feel like we have a really good future base with those 7. But then we've also got some newcomers, some transfers in. Again, the versatility factor of what we can do this year versus what we were, kind of able to do last year, I think is going to be exciting for our fans to be able to watch. So come out, support us. They're working hard at it. They're bringing great energy every day. The leadership has been excellent across all the classes. So it'll be a good group to come out and cheer on.